It's been a fun month. It's my first month finishing YouTube, my first month of YouTube posting and making content, and I had a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you so much if this is like your, I don't know what time, when this video is going up, but if this is like your sixth time, whatever, time watching, I seriously appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming back every time. I really love, like I said, talking to you and just having that community with everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This video is going to be more about games leaving the collection. That's going to be the title, Games Leaving the Collection in January 2022. I'm not sure if this series is going to be continuous and it's going to have every month. I don't think I'll be getting rid of, I don't think I have that many games coming in all the time. But if I do, then it probably will be continuous. Because I want to make sure games keep cycling, I keep playing more games. And we keep playing, keeping the word, right? We are board game players, not collectors. That's what I am, at least. I'm a board game player, not a collector. Because I don't want to have 600 board games and 500 I haven't played. I want to make sure my games get played, they get used, I want to have fun with them. I don't want them to just be sitting there stagnant. That's kind of the goal, right? Play as many games as possible, and I really enjoy it. Each game is such a thematic adventure, right? You're going to jump in, it's so different, everything's cool, the puzzles are different. I love that, and I think designers are getting better and better, and board games are getting better and better. And I appreciate that, and the more we support them, and the more we have our our hobby to grow, and more players, more designers join in, more innovation. I love it. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm actually doing this. However, and one of the reasons I'm doing it, but the video is about getting rid of some board games. So yeah, we're gonna go over a couple games. They all came as a surprise, honestly, because I didn't think I would get rid of them, but two of them actually are open. Two in an expansion because I didn't like the base game too much, and I'm getting rid of it. And I'll go over a couple things of like what I didn't like about it, what I liked about it. But yeah, some of these are kind of obvious, I think, reasons why to get rid of them. Coming up with the first one is Hostage Negotiator by Van Ryder Games. Hostage Negotiator by Van Ryder Games. It's going to be a similar system. Same thing, you're basically going to be similar system to the new game that just came out of Van Ryder Games called Final Girl. Have all the packs, literally have everything. I bought it from their website about 2 years ago now, and I haven't even opened it. But I did get to play it at a friend's house, and I'm just starting to realize the system is basically Final Girl. And I told myself, this is a lot of fun, but I can just play Final Girl at that point. And yeah, you're a hostage negotiator. You're negotiating with someone who has hostages and trying to get all the hostages out. And the same thing, the same solitaire style as Final Girl. And you're kind of putting your cards in, pulling your cards, trying to find out. And it's a lot of fun. It was a really cool game. My only issue with it was that I have Final Girl, and I'm probably backing the new Kickstarter. I have so much content and all plays the same, and I like Final Girl's theme more. The Hostage Negotiator, I thought it was great. I wanted to play, and I ended up playing at his friend's house, and then all of a sudden this new one comes out. I'm like, well, there's no reason for me to have both. They both play exactly the same, practically. I think Final Girl's system is more polished and redefined, and I appreciate that a lot more. So this is going over exactly what I have. These are all more like demand, but these are more booster packs that have different content. They kind of just add to your cards. If they're all not open, which I'm glad I didn't end up opening all of them, so because I do plan on probably selling the game and getting something back from it. It's whatever I could get it back. So this is going to be the base game. It's a pretty small game. It's nice, compact. This is going to be a Negotiator, which is career. You kind of like, it says from the back, you graduate from the academy, and this kind of just adds a little more of some more mechanics to the game. This is going to be a standalone expansion that you could use by itself. You don't have to have this one. This is more simple. This one's with like more of the Final Girl-esque theme to it. Final Girl-esque components and mechanics to it. You can basically store this one into here. You can store practically both of them and everything, all the packs and such into it. It's a lot of content I bought. But yeah, unfortunately, the main reason why it's not a bad game in any way, shape, or form is just since I already have Final Girl, there's no reason for me to have this game. However, if you don't like the horror setting of Final Girl and you would rather play more of like a crime game or like Hostage Negotiator, then I think, yeah, Hostage Negotiator is more for you. Unfortunately for me, it doesn't make sense for me to have both. That's why one has to go, and this one's the one that's leaving. Also, I'm running out of space, so that's why I have to be really mindful about that and start getting rid of games that that I'm not really using or playing anymore. And that's kind of the fun of the hobby, I believe, in my opinion, is the fact that you're kind of you're going through games and experiencing new things, and you're gonna get to realize what you do and don't like. It's like a reward. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not. It's an experience, and I like that a lot about board games. You kind of jump in, you don't know what you're getting into, then you start realizing, oh, do I not like this compared to this, compared to that? Has conversation points. Yeah, Hostage Negotiator is not a bad game, but I already have Final Girl, which plays exactly the same-ish, and yeah, I think I would rather play that. Next game is En Garde by Furti Games. Furti Games is a French publishing company, I believe, somewhere in Europe, and there's actually not rules in English. I had to look them up online. The game I got to play, another one I got to play at a friend's house, and we got to play it, and it was basically, it's a 2-player head-to-head game, 1v1, 1 versus 1 head-to-head. And in the game, you're pulling cards, and you're kind of moving in, and you're kind of like almost sword fighting, 2 forward, 3 back, 2 forward, 3 back, where you're having your action cards. And the game is fun, but I don't see myself pulling it out. After playing it, this is a game I realized, yeah, maybe it's not for me. I have other 2-player games, Radlands, that I think personally has a better system and does things better. I would rather play that than En Garde at that point. And En Garde was a fun game. It just wasn't really something that I'm looking for. The theme wasn't really resonating with me. The gameplay was a little too simple and and yeah, that's kind of the main reason why. I really don't have anything else. Like, I only got to play it 4 times with him. And like I said, I had fun with it, but something was missing again. And I think it was specifically the theme that was missing for me. And the simplicity, it was too simple. And Radlands, like each card has something really big or different that happens. There's more complex than mechanics. This was very simple and very basic. Also unopened, like I said, luckily enough I got to play at a friend's house. So we'll see if I can hopefully maybe donate it or give it to a friend or even sell it and see what I can get for it. But unfortunately, En Garde is leaving the collection this month in January and it's not coming back. Of course not coming back. So, next game, I really didn't expect myself to not like the game since I'm a really big fan of the theme itself. But the it's basically a game in expansion that's leaving my collection. Arkham Horror, the card game by Fantasy Flight Games. I can't really set it all the way forward because it's going to fall over. But yeah, Arkham Horror, the Arkham Horror 3rd edition, the board game. Emphasis on the edition because it is the 3rd edition, not the 2nd. I can't really have it up. Actually, I think we'll be fine. We should be fine. We should be fine. Yeah, we should be fine. Cool. So, these games, and this is the expansion that's unopened. I bought the expansion on a Black Friday sale at one of my local game stores. And yeah, it was affordable. And I was, oh yeah, cool, I have the main game. Let's see if I like it. I got to play 2nd edition. And it was fun. I really enjoyed it. It was an awesome time. And then I had to play, got to play my copy, which is the 3rd edition of Arkham Horror. And I think the setup is what really put me away from it. I really just didn't really appreciate the setting up, the longevity. It just takes so long to set up the game. And also the gameplay wasn't really rewarding to me. Something was missing when I was playing the game. And yeah, it's going to be, particularly I think what was missing, it's a whole other, I have a video on it before you buy. It should be up already, I believe, before this video. And the game essentially just dragged on for me, and I think bringing it to the table, I don't feel compelled to bring it out and to play with certain people. The game itself just takes a long time to set up, bring to the table, and the gameplay can be very long, and it increases on the amount of players you have that are playing. I didn't feel the reward of playing it. I didn't feel rewarding. I would rather just play Arkham Horror, the card game. That's enough H.P. Lovecraft for me. And I love H.P. Lovecraft. I love the books, I love the series. I want to get more into the books as well and read more. And I think the card game is more than enough for me instead of having both of these games and an expansion. And the expansion adds a whole new section to the board and makes the games even longer. I don't want any more a lot of experience, but it is cool if you're an H.P. Lovecraft fan and maybe you don't like the card game, but maybe you'll appreciate the board game more. So it just depends and varies on which one you would appreciate more. I personally don't feel like it's going to be doing very much for me. I don't feel compelled to bring it out and don't want to bring it out compared to a different game. I'd rather bring out a different game. And Arkham Horror is going to have to leave the collection this month. And I'm going to see how that goes. We're going to see if we can just try to get our money back. Also, it comes with an insert inside, which was nice. It didn't come with an insert originally, so I did go kind of a little crazy all in, go out a bunch of stuff. But that's fine. It helped me bring it to the table for sure, because when it was first there, it was a big disaster in the box, and I didn't want to bring it out at all. It was a disaster. So, next up, another game that is leaving, or a set of games that are leaving, are the Chronicles of Crime series are going to be heading out, along with all the extra Kickstarter stuff that I got. I backed this game back in 2020, and it came out the end of 2020, it started coming out. It's basically a mystery crime-solving deduction game, and it's a lot of fun. The series is fun. It's really unique the way in 14, 19, 2400, it's the Millennium series, they all kind of like the locations kind of correspond a little bit and they go together. There's like locations here that transfer to 900, then go into 2400, and they all look different because of the theme changes, of course, the time, different eras, I guess, different times. The game's a lot of fun. I just feel like I played through all of them. After you play them once, you don't really feel compelled to bring them out again. Also, the iPad, well, not the iPad. You can use an iPad or an iPhone. I've been making that mistake a lot. You can use an iPad or an iPhone or some type of device, any kind of device, to scan QR codes, and I feel like that drags a lot. You're kind of playing the game and you have to reach over, scan, and if you're not really efficiently set up, I had my device, the iPad, set up on a, like kind of set up facing up, so I just have to put my card behind it and scan. That really drags. I don't feel like the game plays well. They encourage like cooperative play with more people. I don't feel like the game plays really well with more people because it drags on so much. So that was kind of like my thing about the game, and I feel like it's going to belong better somewhere else. Or after, because I played through all of them and it was fun, and I feel like next time you just really can't play it again. For campaign games, for me personally, I really can't play again knowing what's going to happen. I can rewatch movies sometimes, and if I really like a game, I'll replay it again. For example, Stuffed Fables, right? That's a campaign game, and I played it over many times. However, this didn't really compel me. And also with the mystery, crime solved mystery, the whole point is a crime, right? So you're just kind of, okay, I know what happens, I know how to get there, kind of situation. Yeah, and it's really, I just think it's going to be a game that I really only played once, and I'm going to keep that in mind for the future whenever I buy a certain game, because games like this you can only really play once, and I'll keep that in mind for any other crime mystery solving game I buy in the future. However, Chronicles of Crime is leaving my collection this month. And it's like I said, it's not a bad game, just maybe not my style of crime or mystery solving. That's really it on games in my collection this month. Those few are leaving. We have a lot of new additions as it is already, so it's kind of like, I have to start pushing some out. I'm running out of space. My goal is to keep one Calyx, maybe two, and I don't have a second one yet. If you look here, my one Calyx, and I want to have maybe two, but I don't think I'm going to be fitting them in my small studio space that I have here right now. Maybe we'll get like maybe a half Calyx. However, I don't want to go overboard. I don't want to be, like I said, I want to keep the theme. I want to be a board game player, not a board game collector. And that's what I think we should all be, right? I mean, there's collectors, right? Collect board games, but you should be a player. You should be playing your games. Unless you truly are a collector, then of course, hey, collect your games, collect as many as you want, have them all. For me, honestly, I don't like having clutter or things that I'm not using around. If I'm not using something, I'd rather get rid of it. So if I'm not playing a game, I'm not going to play a game for specific reasons, no point in having it around. Someone else could enjoy it more than I can. That's kind of my own personal take on that, and yeah, I think we should all be board game players instead of here at this kind of what I'm encouraging is board game playing. If you're a collector, awesome, but I want to be playing my board games. And yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying to the end. If you did, please comment, like, subscribe. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about my games. What do you feel about my native games in collection? Do you recommend I should try another one that maybe I like in the series? Specifically Chronicles of Crime 2, like, what do you think? Should I try another one? Do you like the games I'm getting rid of? What's your opinion on it? Let me know what you think, alright? Alright, thank you. Bye.